Hi everyone, I'm Silvia from DforDesign. I'm interior designer and content creator with a particular interest in sustainable design and biophilia. And today I am here with Coki, an Italian designer using innovative natural materials for her products. And we will be talking about her approach to sustainable and circular design. So I'm happy to welcome Coki with us.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Coki. How are you doing?
Hi.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, I hear you well.
Okay, perfect. So I would say we can start with a little introduction about yourself as a designer and how you chose to make sustainability a big part of your work.
Well, I'm an interior and architectural designer, and I chose this way of project from the beginning. So sustainability is an important part of my work. I can say that I was born and raised in the middle of the nature, so this influenced me so much. And I want to bring this way of life, this respect for the all living beings in my work. Yeah. So I thought that I can do this also working about sustainability and the green concept. So this is the reason why I use this in my work.
Great. And talking about sustainability, what does the word sustainability mean to you? Because that's such a wide word and every person can have a slightly different, interpretation of it. So what does it mean for you in particular?
For me in particular, sustainability, as I said, has something in common with the word respect. Respect all the living beings and as also something in common with a kind way of life. So I'll explain. Every time I design a new object or a new home, a new service, I have to make some changes to what already exists. Yeah. For me, be sustainable and sustainability in general is to make sure that these changes do not bring with them long-term effects, negative effects. Or these effects are not too many and devastating.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. My next is about your materials, because all the materials you use are natural, and looking at the final product, they look very straightforward, and I would even say easy, but I am sure there's a lot of research behind choosing which materials to use for each project. So I would like to know, where do you find your inspiration to choose the best material for each of the products you are working with?
Yes, when I start my job, I have set myself three rules about my material choice. Yeah. So one is natural or recyclable materials. And Italian origin, and combined without the use of glue or weldings. Yeah. So I can say that my second rule can answer your question, because I always I always find my inspiration when I discover a new materials. Always I can find my new inspiration for a new project or a new service.
Yeah, okay. So sometimes So you start from the material, and then.
So I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. Can you repeat?
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Okay. So I was thinking, so for what you said, so sometimes it works the other way around. So you find a material that for any reason you like, and then you choose which project to develop with that material, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. I always kind of thought that it would work the other way around, you know, having a project in mind and then finding a material for it. Yeah, it's
interesting. I also say that I find my inspiration also traveling around my country.
Yeah.
And discovering materials also in their wild state, so also in the middle of the nature. And for example, for travertine in the Marmore waterfall, visiting Marmore waterfall, or calcarenite, visiting Matera.
Oh, that's great. That's also good that you have such a strong connection with Italy, actually, with where you are, and that's great. I really love it.
Yeah.
Next question is again about what you were anticipating before, so that your products are made for disassembly, which is one of the strategies of circular design, to be able to reuse the same materials over and over again, also at the end of the life cycle of one specific product. And so for this, your products do not use glues, and they are easy to take apart. So I was wondering, maybe you can share with us, what are some of the techniques that are used to make, the parts of a product stay together without glues? How do you do that?
I think there are no techniques, but I always use, yes, I can say two techniques. One is prototyping a lot.
Okay.
And because, of course, designing an object that must not have the connection with glues or weldings, of course, takes much more times than if you could design it with glue or made connection in some other way.
Yeah.
And in fact, the problem is always the connection area, because I always try to combine together several materials, and they are all natural.
Yeah.
So my second technique is choosing the best artisans in Italy, I think, because it's all about artisan skills.
Yeah, true. That's a good answer, actually. Great answer. So maybe you have already answered a little bit. So do you think that it's more difficult to design keeping disassembly in mind?
Yes, I think the first few times it was, yes, but now it has become my way of designing.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's just something that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we are having some problems of audio, but okay, we're gonna get there. Next question. It's an interesting quote, kind of a thought that I found about sustainability on your website, that says, "Nothing is less sustainable than something that remains unused." And I think that's brilliant. So since you start from this, beginnings from this thought, I was wondering, how do you ensure that your products are not going to get unused? So is there something, prior in the design process, some thinking process that you go through to make sure that your products will remain relevant over time?
I think it's all about when we design, it's all about to being proactive. So also design for feelings. And I think that the emotional part of design has nothing in common with, for example, art field, but it's rather something in common with the functionality of the object. So an object to be functional is not enough that it works well. If an object can communicate with us, can give us emotion or keep us company, I think we will not throw it away. Rather, we will deliver it to our sons and giving that object the possibility to its second or third life and reuse it.
True. So it's not really, that's interesting, because it is not really only the the functional and material thing that an object has to do for us, but it's really the emotional connection, and I really like this. Very interesting. Next question is more of a general one that I often like to ask when I talk to designers, because in the world we are living today, there's a huge need of sustainable development in all fields. So in your opinion, in the design field in particular, what could make the transition towards a more sustainable standard quicker or more effective? What would make a change in your opinion?
In my opinion, one of the best thing we can do is to reflect from the beginning of the process, of the design process. So we as a designer and design company, we have to reflect about which materials we want to use, how can we combine them together, how we can we recycle them. So I think yes, it's all about the process at the beginning. And one important way to work in this field is consider product design as a serious thing. So design needs precise rules that we can follow, we as a designer or consumer. I think in this way we can speed up this process.
Makes sense. And do you think the rules that you're talking about kind of have to come from outside, or are these rules?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Can you hear me now? Coki, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. I was wondering, since you said that, as designers, we need rules, do you think these rules have to be like imposed kind of from outside, like, the circular design framework, or they can be also rules auto-imposed from the designer to himself? Both.
I think both, but I think in this particular time, we have the necessity to someone from outside that tell us how we can do with design process, product design process, and then how we can do with our object when it's the time to change it or to change it.
Yeah.
Or to throw it away, but I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
it's always the better thing to do.
Interesting. Okay, so we are unfortunately getting to the end of our time. So I'm gonna throw at you one last question, which is related to you. So what are your next projects, if there's anything you have in the pipeline that you can anticipate to us?
Yeah, I can anticipate something because I have a little surprise for you.
Oh, great!
And for yeah, and for Coki followers, for my studio followers, as I promised, I can show you for the first time my new project, Cochlea, from Latin word. Cochlea means snails, because I was inspired by nature and in particular by animals, these kinds, so snails, by their shell that are strong but fragile, and their body, soft body, that help them to move.
Yeah, so maybe you can show us the product.
Okay. I see you. Now I see you again. So
okay. Yeah, so maybe you can show you have it with you.
Yes, I can show you. So just a minute, because I have to move. Just one base, because I don't know if you can see it.
That's massive.
Okay. This is one of the 3 shapes. This new project, as you can see, our vase collection is a vases collection. 3 possibilities of shapes that you can simply join together in this way. So you can have with 1 or 2 different vases.
Okay.
And it's formed by an historical rock of Matera, that is the shell of these hypothetical snails, and the body is in glass.
Great, it's lovely. I mean,
so you can find it from now on my social, of course, of Coki Social, and on Isola, those digital page.
Yeah, okay. That's lovely. I really love it. And in general, I love, sculpture.
I don't know if it's,
and it's lovely. Congratulations. It's amazing.
Thanks. Many thanks.
Okay. So we have finished our time, unfortunately. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a lovely conversation. Thanks to the guys at Isola.design District for hosting us. Thanks to you who have joined us. And I will see you next time, and have a great afternoon. Bye, Coki.
Thank you. Bye.